Hello, welcome to another edition of Front Row Roundtable Show presented by Ralphie's. I'm Norm Waymer. This is Big John Melkowski. This is Mortgage Marty Ben from Fairway. You never let me talk about Fairway Mortgage.
I love the place.
It's part of the reason you're here.
I appreciate that.
Give it a little pitch.
Number one FHA lender in America, and the number one rural housing lender in America, and number 5 overall.
See, that way they hear it and they can't skip over it.
People want to yell at me for the dumb stuff I say about sports, not the intelligent stuff I say.
Oh, there's plenty more coming to that.
Right, I'm saying, but no one wants to hear the intelligent stuff I say about mortgages. They want to hear about the dumb things I say about sports, which let's just get right to it.
Why do you have to slip that stuff in there?
All right, it's fine.
That's what comedians do. They get you laughing and then they slip some stuff in there on you.
All right, fine.
I'm still working with him. All right. Let's get at it.
That's what my wife says. Good luck.
All right, we're taping this earlier in the week. So one or two things, by the time you guys watch this, one or two things are going to happen in the NBA. Either we got a Game 7 tomorrow night or it ended on Thursday. So I'm going to go on a limb and say there's a Game 7. But
Kevin Durant's season ended earlier in the week, and surgery has been completed. And
yeah, that was quick.
And I could be dead wrong on this, and everybody will know as soon as I say this, but I think Golden State might blow them out in Game 6. So we'll see.
I'll take your.
Everybody will know.
I'll take whatever points you're willing to give on the other side of that bet.
I'm saying
betting on a game that happened.
Yes, I'm willing to bet on a game that happened Thursday. Yes. Right. Seems like a sure thing.
I couldn't believe that there was such a hubbub about Kevin Durant's injury.
Well, about his injury or about the way the fans reacted?
Both. The medical staff screwed up and he shouldn't have played and blah, blah, blah. It was a different injury.
So I have several thoughts on that, and this is all just from my own observation. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV, and I didn't say it to Holiday Inn Express last night. So,
but you are a parent, so you have doctor skills.
No, and I've tore lots of stuff.
And so is your son.
Yeah, correct. And any of us that have ever done something like that, when you watch it happen, you know. So obviously, if you watch the video, I mean, you can tell when it goes. The problem that I have is, why are you icing something mid-game that causes things to tighten? I mean, if he's already loose and he was okay and he was cleared, why are you icing it? Because icing's for inflammation, not that. And if that did tighten up, I mean, there's just so many So my question is, was it partially torn? In which case, they all knew it was going to have to be repaired anyways, and he could just go ahead and go, and they were lying. Which is what I believe. Which is unusual with an Achilles, because it's normally it just either goes or it doesn't go. It's not like MCLs or ACLs where they're partial.
Because it's a tendon. They're not very big.
I believe it was partially torn, and they looked at him one day and said, look, if you want to go give it a shot and see if you can get through a couple games,
So you're a conspiracy guy.
I'm not even saying that. I'm saying based on what I saw and based on what happened, because why does a calf cause an Achilles? That's the part no one can explain this to me, including people who I respect, who are doctors, who don't play one on TV, who say there should be no correlation between the two.
But
there isn't. That's my point. That's why I'm puzzled of why everybody's up in arms about this.
I think it would have come out if the doctors were, just kind of saying, well, he's going to leave anyway, so let's clear him. I mean, you would hear that, and
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, someone looked at him and said, this is partially torn. Either way, you have to have it surgically repaired because it won't heal on its own. So if you want to go give it a shot, and if it tears, it tears, and if you can get through a couple games and win a championship, either way, you're going to have the surgery.
But then somebody should come out and say that.
I don't believe it was partially.
I don't think so, because
they could go.
Because
they
somebody
could go
would have
anytime. Happened to Isaiah Thomas, ended his career.
I don't know. Kobe had it, and it essentially ended his. I mean, it wasn't quite, but it should have.
Well, and the press conference that Bob Myers gave, the general manager or president of player operations, that is something that's not. I mean, that came from the heart. I mean, that was not a guy who knew this could have happened. I mean, that was truly an emotion felt.
I'm not buying it.
Why do you think Kevin Durant's so polarizing? Well, let's talk about the fans' reaction to this.
I think that was just a bunch of people hungry for a title reacting to the fact that when he's out again, they believe that the championship was theirs. And whether he's polarizing or not, it's the, when you're already that guy and then you go to the Yankees, everyone hates you because you piled on with the winner. Yeah, I don't like them either.
I wonder, I wasn't watching the game when it happened, but I wonder how much of the reaction of the fans was more seeing him go down, seeing the ball loose, and thinking, hey, we can get the ball and get a layup and get some more points.
I was watching the game. I mean, when the Raptors players are having to tell the fans to knock it off while they're carrying him off the court, I mean, the only thing I've ever seen like it is when Michael Irvin went down at the Vet. And by the way, those are whatever the Toronto fans have gotten. I'm telling you, I've been to Philly for a football game. Worst fans in America, bar none. And if any of you are Philly fans, awful place. But, Irvin suffers a neck injury, and they're putting him on a board, and the people are cheering.
Well, let's face it, there's not a lot of civility anymore.
I would have liked to have thought we had a little bit left. That's all I'm going to say.
I think a lot of people would agree it's regressed over the last few years.
It's led from the top. And I'm not talking in sports.
Well, although, it is in Canada, so I don't know what that means.
Oh, they're supposed to be really nice. I mean, that was way out of character for that.
The other thing that this Durant injury does is whether he takes the option or not, which is his choice, which is what I do if I was him, and get $30 million to rehab. $31 million to rehab, sorry. But I find it interesting because it seems to really change the dynamic of free agency now, because it was always where he went, and maybe he and Kyrie, or maybe he and somebody would go somewhere else, and now that he's not going to go somewhere else next year, or if he does, it's for a buy-in year, how all of a sudden everyone's talk about who's going where has dramatically changed. As much as it's changed this finals, which I don't think it has, because I didn't think he was going to play anyways, based on what they kept saying, it's amazing how fast the offseason has changed in literally a nanosecond.
Well, and this offseason has just dwarfed the postseason. I mean, all this talk has been about who's going where in July, and there's been no talk about the actual series. It's all been, where's Durant going? Where's Kyrie going? Who's going to go?
Are they going to max Klay Thompson?
Yeah, who's going to go with LeBron? Where's Anthony Davis going? I mean, it's just been all the player movement, and it's like this.
But it was like the offseason that LeBron was out there. Pick any of them where he was out there. Everything was about where's LeBron going. So It's kind of the same thing, but at a little bit of a smaller scale, because Durant's not LeBron.
Well, but this seems to be a bigger scale because there's more of those type guys out there.
And in the meantime, what was Toronto thinking in that last 2 minutes when they could have ended this whole thing? It was like, talk about people that haven't
when they call the timeout,
haven't learned to win yet, and then don't run the right play, and then Kyle Lowry's taking the game. It's like I watched the whole thing and went, that's your best effort.
Take the ball to the basket. Take the ball to the basket.
Yeah, go get an end.
Good things happen when you take the ball to the basket.
Make them foul you.
You didn't need a three.
No. Foolish. For a team that's done everything right in the playoffs, at least strategically, they've done a really great job. But I hate to use the joke word, but they.
But at least Toronto has thrown a monkey wrench into all this, and nobody really saw this coming with Toronto, I don't think. So, all right, let's take a timeout, and we'll be back. It's the Front Row Roundtable show presented by Ralphie's.
Bring yourself to Ralphie's. Yeah, it's that good.
Chill out today at Ralphie's with their frozen margaritas and daiquiris. And get half-priced wings after 9 p.m. 7 days a week. What goes great while watching baseball games on our many screens? The quarter-pound all-beef dog basket, served with a pop or draft. Daily for just $9.99.
Bring yourself to Ralphie's. Yeah, it's that good.
What can you expect from working with Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation? Our branch manager, Marty Bin, can help you navigate through the loan process with the service and speed you deserve. Contact Marty today to get pre-qualified. Make your home buying dreams a reality. Call 419-481-8696 to speak with Marty Bin today.
It's July fireworks as Powerbomb Wrestling returns to Toledo at St. Clements Hall on Sunday, July the 7th. See a return match for the heavyweight title as Unchained Brandon Dave battles the Beast Cara. Also, the Circus of Pain in a 6-man tag, and you'll see our very first women's tag team match. Get your discount tickets at pbwexcitement.com. It's the best wrestlers in the Midwest, Sunday, July the 7th, St. Clements Hall in Toledo. You're not going to want to miss it. And back we are for our Roundtable show presented by Ralphie's. Don't forget wing time at Ralphie's weekdays 2 until 5. Get a 10-count of wings, dine in for just half price. And, of course, half price appetizers after 9 any night at your area. Ralphie's, my home away from home. All right, since we were talking NBA Finals, and one of us on this panel, no, it wasn't me, floated the question about what sport has the best Game 7?
Well,
or the best championship game.
Well,
right? I thought the question was, is the Super Bowl
because
Game 7 of a World Series?
The NFL doesn't have a best-of-7 series. And because there was a Game 7 in the NHL earlier this week, because
the best clincher, I think, is what was said.
Exactly. Because to me, an NHL Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Final is the most exciting thing out there. Because hockey is just one of those up and down, especially if it gets late in the game, one score can win it. And in 7 seconds, you can be on the other end taking a shot. You can be on the other end taking a shot. I mean, everybody is in it. You get to the NBA, you get a 5-minute overtime. You've got, it is the Stanley Cup, and especially I've always been one. I love all the pomp and circumstance that comes with the Stanley Cup. I mean, I'm not a huge NHL guy. But if I know it's a clinching game, I'll tune into the end of the game because I love the skating around with the cup and the guys skating around with it and just there's no other sport like that.
I'd like to disagree, but I can't. I mean, what's even better than that is when they go into overtime.
Exactly.
In Game 7.
And it's sudden death.
That's absolutely crazy.
It's not like extra innings where it can go on and on and
right.
on.
Or even in the NFL where, you had sudden death, but only one team is going to score. I mean, the defense can score, but what are the odds?
Because you often see that where somebody will get a shot at one end, and then the rebound will go somewhere. And
how many shows have we done?
They go down and score at the other end.
How many shows have we done?
109, I think.
I'm going to agree. I think we've now, at show 109, we've got a quorum for the first time. Wow. I'm not even sure I have anything to add to that. I think you probably said it all that needs to be said, because I think you're right. And I'm not a big hockey fan either. I mean, I enjoy watching it, but I wouldn't consider myself like if you asked me who the other winger is or something on one of those, I'd be like, something Tinoff, I don't know.
But I planned on. I mean, I planned on being up, and I watched the entire Game 7 earlier this week. And
how about the 18th hole of a golf tournament on day 4 when there's people tied?
Nah, I can't get into golf. Sorry.
Can be exciting, not as exciting as the other.
No.
I'm sticking.
It's a different kind of excitement. It's more nerve-wracking.
Right.
Yeah, because you have time to think about it.
I mean, that's
and the person hitting the ball has time to. So
that's what baseball is. It's nerve-wracking. It's increased tension as the game goes on. See, I think boxing shot themselves in the foot by going to 12 rounds and not being 15. There were so many great fights that ended after the 12th round, when you really get a true test of how good somebody is.
That's gut check time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right. And the only time you fought those last 3 rounds
and hurt
was in a championship fight.
Right.
So you had to. I mean, that's why they call them the championship rounds, obviously, because you had to prove that you were capable of doing that. And I think that made a lot of sense too.
For pomp and circumstance, you can't top the Super Bowl.
No, but
because so many casual fans tune in.
But
or people that aren't even football fans.
But that's more of everything going on around it, the commercials and the stupid halftime concert that takes forever, and
Yeah, but ask half the people watching what Cover 3 is, and watch it.
Yeah.
I'm being generous, probably. What's the difference between a nickel and a dime, and they'd have no idea.
No.
Yeah.
You can't even use the overtime thing because the most important thing in overtime is the coin toss.
The only thing I thought that was close might be the combination of the Final Four and the championship game. The Saturday, Monday, 3-day event, I think, sort of rivals.
Yeah, but college basketball just doesn't.
Well, no, college basketball's killed itself.
Doesn't add up.
The NBA, the combination of the NBA and college basketball has made it, because you can't know anybody. I mean, it used to be. I mean, back when Georgetown and Patrick Ewing were playing Chris Mullin and St. John's and whatever, and you knew all those guys, and they'd been there 3 or 4 years, and they developed, and they all hated each other. It was awesome, and it's not that way anymore.
Well, yeah, because the one and out.
Yeah, one and done has.
By the time you start to know who's on what team and who's good and who isn't, gone.
Right.
You go to the NBA.
Yeah, they become a ball in a lottery.
Then you got to learn everybody all over again.
Oh, especially for the top teams, the Kentuckys and Dukes.
Can't learn 100 in some schools every year.
But it would be awesome, at least as a fan, if those same people were coming back.
Oh, could you imagine Zion Williamson 3 more years at Duke?
And Barrett and whoever, and then whatever team's going to try, when Kentucky's going to try and recruit against that, and that'd be.
And they'd be
awesome.
would be ready to play in the NBA after 3 years in college, unlike the situation now.
But that situation has made the opening weekend of the tournament more exciting.
Yeah.
Because you get more of these upsets when you've got a team that has maybe 4 seniors, a mid-major team that's got 4 seniors that can go upset one of these young teams. I think that's gotten even better.
It's not enough to make me a fan of the new rule, but yes.
No, but
I thought you didn't like the big tournament.
No, it's fine with me. I don't think you get a true champion, but
why wouldn't you get a true champion?
Because it's not the best team all year.
Those of you who are about to start messaging and texting me, John said it, not me. I'm out. I'm not participating in this.
How else do you decide who the best team is?
It's not even that.
By playing them off.
Like I have a whole group of people that like to blow up my phone over you can't call the football guy the national champion because there's not a true tournament.
I want to choke people that say the best team didn't win the championship. I want to choke them. Because that's how you decide who's better. You actually play each other.
So when Villanova was an 8 seed and won the title, that they were the best team all year?
Yeah.
No, they were the best team. They were the team that
for
won.
a month. They were the best team for a month.
At the end of the season, they were the best team.
I watched the Giants with David Tyree stick a football to his helmet and beat a New England team that was staggering. And you're going to tell me I just want you to tell me that you believe that the Giants were the better team then. It happens all the time, but somebody gets a trophy.
In every sport, it's who's best at the end. Except maybe golf, if you shoot 10 under in the first round and you kind of par the rest of the way and somehow win the tournament.
Yeah, champions are champions. I'm sorry. I can't follow you down this rabbit hole. We went 3 for 3 earlier. I'm walking back now.
But see, golf's not a sport.
Order has been restored to the Roundtable.
I made a distinction when I was doing the old radio show between a sport and a competition. Golf's a competition.
Oh, here we go again.
No defense. You got to have defense to be a sport.
So car racing's not a sport?
Correct. It's a competition.
Archery's not a sport? Track's not a sport?
Well, if somebody's shooting back at you, then archery could be. All right, let's take a timeout and come back. It probably won't get any better. It's the Front Row Roundtable show presented by Ralphie's.
Bring yourself to Ralphie's. Yeah, it's that good.
Chill out today at Ralphie's with their frozen margaritas and daiquiris. And get half-priced wings after 9 p.m. 7 days a week. What goes great while watching baseball games on our many screens? The quarter-pound all-beef dog basket, served with a pop or draft. Daily for just $9.99.
Bring yourself to Ralphie's. Yeah, it's that good.
What can you expect from working with Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation? Our branch manager, Marty Bin, can help you navigate through the loan process with the service and speed you deserve. Contact Marty today to get pre-qualified. Make your home buying dreams a reality. Call 419-481-8696 to speak with Marty Bin today.
It's July fireworks as Powerbomb Wrestling returns to Toledo at St. Clements Hall on Sunday, July the 7th. See a return match for the heavyweight title as Unchained Brandon Day battles the Beast Cara. Also, the Circus of Pain in a 6-man tag, and you'll see our very first women's tag team match. Get your discount tickets at pbwexcitement.com. It's the best wrestlers in the Midwest, Sunday, July the 7th, St. Clements Hall in Toledo. You're not going to want to miss it. The argument just continued on the break. And I'm like, no, stop. Let's record this.
And I'm shocked we're about to do this. I thought we were going to talk about David Ortiz getting, attempted off over $8,000, and instead we're going to talk about swimming would only be a sport if you could tackle the guy in the other lane.
No, you brought that up.
Well, I'm just saying, but that was your...
I'm just saying there's a difference between a sport and a competition.
So bowling's not a sport, but curling is a sport. Because in curling, you can play defense.
Bowling, you're trying to get the highest individual score.
So that's a competition.
Yeah. It's a competition to see who gets the highest score.
So just so we're clear on his definition, bowling's a competition and curling's a sport.
Yeah.
So shuffleboard's
well, there
a
is
sport.
defense in curling.
My head's going to explode
Just ask ESPN when they made Secretariat one of the top 50 athletes of all time.
But see, it doesn't. I don't know if it's. I wouldn't go.
Horse racing's a sport.
Before
but in horse racing, apparently you can play defense. Oh no, you can't play defense because you get disqualified. Yeah. Never mind. I was wrong. It's just a competition too. Then.
To be fair, I don't know if curling's a sport because one of the other things that you could judge this by is can you smoke and drink beer while you're doing it? If you can, it's not really a sport.
So according to you, Babe Ruth wasn't an athlete then.
Well, that's a whole different argument.
I'm just saying.
First of all, he was a tremendous athlete.
Yeah.
But he could smoke beer.
Smoke beer? Boy, if he could smoke beer, that'd be fantastic.
I gotta quit drinking.
No, he was a tremendous athlete. Stole a lot of bases too. Pitched, hit, ran.
Triples, yep.
It was only the tail end of his career where his conditioning went off.
All right, so
the John Goodman movie was awful.
So the norm definition of a sport is you have to be able to play defense.
Well, that's one of them, yeah.
And you can't smoke cigarettes or drink beer while doing it.
You have to be competing against each other.
Okay, you
said that's a competition, not a sport. I'm so confused. This is why this has devolved.
You are confused.
Well, so is golf a sport or a competition?
It's a competition.
Okay.
Because you're competing to see who can get the lowest score.
So most Olympic events are competitions, not sports.
Sure.
Yes.
Doesn't mean it's bad. Well, it's a competition to see who can run fastest, for example.
But that's not a sport.
No, it's a competition.
It's hard for me. I'm trying to get into the mind of Norm, and it's scaring me, and I don't want to be there anymore, but I'm trying to understand better.
So what do you want to say about David Ortiz? See, we're recording this earlier in the week, so we don't know what may have come out at the end of the week. Because all we know is that there was a conspiracy to kill him.
Well, apparently, if you're having relations with a drug dealer's wife in a country like the Dominican...
I found nothing on that.
John and I found a ton on that.
Yeah, but from where?
The Daily Mail.
Lots of Dominican papers. The police are now saying that the guy they have in custody, that's the motive. They have motive. They have him on tape.
I did check TMZ before we taped this and didn't find anything.
Although
that means it's
the fact that it went from 400,000 to 400,000 pesos, which is $8,000 American.
It was 400,000 pesos.
Yeah, so it was $8,000.
Not dollars.
So apparently, $8,000 is enough to get 2 cops and 5 or 6 other people to, get you at a club.
Well, it's a different economy.
We know, and it's getting a little tight down there because apparently when you're killing people at all inclusives, bookings are down.
Well, my question is was this hit just to send a message? Because
no, they were trying to kill him.
They were trying to kill him because...
Well, then why shoot him in the stomach and not just...
You can kill somebody shooting him in the stomach.
I know,
if you want some... I got this on good authority from someone today who is not one of my people I would hold in high regard. He said the reason you do that is you figure he's going to die slow. You don't want him to die quick, so you want him to suffer. So you shoot him in the liver. And I'm like, you said that. And he's like, yes. He goes, that's where if I was going to do it, I wouldn't want to kill somebody quick. I want him to suffer. And I'm like, I don't ever want to be around you when you're angry. Yes, people I need to disassociate myself with.
Well, if he wanted to suffer, he could come on the show.
But yeah, so apparently a Dominican, $8,000 is enough to do that. If I was Ortiz, I'd stay in Boston.
So if your significant other wants to take you on a vacation to the Dominican Republic, don't do it.
Except we know somebody going to the Dominican Republic pretty soon.
No, I was kidding. That's been the office joke. I said, hey, we're setting the all-inclusive trip we're setting the bonus lower than normal this year because we've got significant discounts to all-inclusive to the Dominican, and no one wants to go.
You get that phone call, honey, I just won a trip to the Dominican Republic.
Qualified for the office trip this year.
Actually, I do know somebody who's actually booked a trip to the Dominican.
Well, how come you guys...
I've been there twice on company trips and gotten food poisoning both times. So the joke was the year. Do you remember when the Super Bowl went dark?
Yes.
So both of us had food poisoning and were laying in a room like wanting to die, not literally, but feeling like it, and then had that blackout go on while you're trying to like roll around and watch the Super Bowl. And then the next day, my buddy almost drowned, so I had to pull him out of the ocean. So I texted and said, look, we weren't the only three that tried to die in the Dominican.
Another tip-off might be if you find out she's got 2 tickets to go down and only 1 to come back. That might be a sign, too.
Right. Honey, I booked yours one way. We got a discount.
Well, you don't tell them that. If you happen to find out about it, boy, you'll never be able to pull that off.
All I'm saying is, don't.
We're laughing and joking about David Ortiz almost getting killed. That's not what we're really laughing about.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that. It's just it's interesting to me that I feel bad that he got shot, but it also appears that he was doing things he shouldn't have been doing.
There's no but. You don't just shoot somebody for any reason.
Well,
I understand, but
unless they're breaking into your house.
To me, there is a but. And, there's
not a but.
it's a different.
Because every time somebody says "but," that means everything I said before it doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't.
And the only thing that means anything is what I'm going to say.
So here's an analogy.
We're under a minute.
It's a ridiculous one. But so I'm in Russia and I sleep with Putin's wife and end up executed, and you'd say, well, he shouldn't have known better. I mean, come on. You're in the Dominican. Don't sleep with drug dealers' wives. It's just a bad idea. Hey, El Chapo's daughter's here. I wonder if we should hang out. No. Judgment matters. And so that doesn't excuse him being shot, but it does matter.
Touching the whole drug dealer thing by any means. You can send your emails to these guys or hit them up on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. All right, we're done. Saturday Night Live coming up next. Powerbomb Wrestling, 2 a.m. You can't catch it, DVR it. Regardless, join the YouTube channel. All right, follow the YouTube channel, and you'll get all this stuff anytime you want it. Next time, we'll see you on the Front Row Roundtable show presented by Ralphie's.